afternoon, everybody. I'm Anice Kruger, and thank you very much for having me today. I'm a 28-year-old hyperactive mommy of Pippie and Arnu. I have a wonderful husband, Erwin, and our lives changed completely on 31st October 2011 when Pippie had an accident that changed everything. She was playing outside on the grass when the accident happened, and firelighted gel exploded, and she got burned over more than 80% of her body, third-degree, full-thickness burns. And as soon as I killed the flames on her, she told me she's tired and she wanted to go to sleep, and that is where the super mom part of me stepped in, and I knew I had to keep her awake. And what really touched me inside is that she didn't cry once. She didn't ask for anything. She was playing in the car. I was hysteric. I couldn't stop screaming, and she was looking at me like, what's going on? So getting to the first hospital where they told us, please leave, we don't have a doctor that can help you. Having to go to a government hospital on New Year's Eve, where a doctor came giving us a few drops of Valeron and disappearing. And then paramedics coming to put burn shields on my baby, my mom being an ex-sister coming to help us. And finally, through police, they contacted our house doctor, who was on the phone for 2 hours begging hospitals in South Africa to help Pippie. The accident happened just after 7:30 that previous evening, and 2:30 the next morning we reached Garden City, where I had to give Pippie over to the doctors, and Dr. Bartlett taking over, he's my hero, and telling me that there's no way Pippie can survive this. She has 80% burns. You plus 10 with that, and 3% for her age. So she had 7% chances of survival. And again, the super mom in me stepped out. I laughed in his face. I told him, please, fix her. I want to take her home. I want to celebrate New Year's. And he had to tell me she just had her first heart attack. Her blood pressure was 0. Her lungs collapsed, and she was on almost illegal dosages of everything. After that, having to wait for Dr. Mia, the plastic surgeon, who was 3 hours late, only 6 months later to find out that he had an emergency of a little baby whose face been ripped off by a dog, so that is why he was late, and I was mad at him for it. And him telling me to go on to burnfaces.com, look for the worst picture there is, and imagine yourself that this is how Pippie will look for the rest of her life. And I told him, when is her hair going to grow again? When is she going to have nails again? And she is here today. Before I continue, I'd just like to ask my husband, Erwin, to bring her over. I wish Pippie was the one giving this speech. I wish she was the one being able to tell her experiences. Say hello. Dr. Mia gave me as a mom 3 options. I could use cadaver skin, pig skin, or take the little piece of her skin on her bum to cover 80% of her body. And I was begging him, please, please just give me another option. And he said there isn't any. So I asked him, give me 2 weeks. I will give you an answer. The 31st of January, I was crying. I didn't have an answer to give this very smart doctor the next morning. And 3 o'clock that morning, I came in contact with Professor Green from Harvard. And he emailed me back, and he told me, we can and we will help you. He told me about Epicel, and that's where the whole process started on getting clone skin into South Africa. The biggest problem was importing and exporting of human tissue. So from the 1st of February to 11th June, when Pippie got her skin, Pippie died 17 times. She had 5 heart attacks, 5 strokes, complete kidney failure. 2 times she had the worst kind of sepsis you can ever imagine, and 2 lungs collapses. But every time after Pippie woke up after anesthetics, she smiled at me. There was a time when I was asking God, please take her, I can't take this anymore. And every time she came back stronger. And before the accident happened, I had my thyroid removed, and I was so tired and irritated, and I told Pippie, I just don't have any strength for you. And being 2.5 at that time, it was a week before the accident, she told me, if you don't have any strength, you can have some of mine. Not knowing that 2 years further down the road, it was still the words that kept me as a supermom going. Through the next few months, I saw the brightments, I saw everything, because they couldn't take Pippie into surgery. So every time I was there when they did Pippie's operations, she had 56 operations to date. I saw stuff that made me want to kill some doctors, that made me want to just take her and hide her from the world. But every time, it's just like she came back stronger, making me realize that I can do this. It's like she was hurting, but I'm the one that can do this. On the 17th of May, we got the biopsy kit from America, and we could take 2 pieces of Pippie's skin. It was 2 by 6 pieces. It was in the shape of an eye. And we sent it to America, and on the 11th of June, they sent me back 41 pieces of perfectly cloned skin. It was the most beautiful thing I ever seen, even if you couldn't see it. And the operation happened, but before that, we were so scared, because when you get the skin out of the growth hormone, you have 24 hours shelf life, then it has to be on, then it has to start growing. So from Boston to South Africa, it took 21 hours. And 5 o'clock, the plane landed, everyone got off, and now it's peak traffic. It is OR Tambo versus Brixton, and they did it in 16 minutes flat. I don't know how it happened, I don't know whatever, but Kenneth O'Connor did it, and the skin came, as you can see, you can't see it, it was attached to gauze. So they took Pippie in, they placed 31 pieces of the skin on her, and they covered her up again. The next morning, I felt like I had it. I had my Christmas gift, I opened it up, but then they took it away and closed it up again. That was the first time I actually had fallen down completely. I walked into Pippie's room, and the 1st of January, the day after the accident, Pippie was lying on bed like this. It was pipes and medicine and everything. And the 12th of June, I walked in to find her looking exactly like that. So I called Dr. Mia. I told him, how could you allow me to do this to Pippie? How could you allow me to make her wait and wait and wait? And he told me, if I haven't done this, Pippie would have gone through this exact same operation, just 10 times worse, because we would have taken the skin from her bum, put it on, so it would have happened 20, 30 times, and we did it in 1. So that was awesome. A week later, on the 17th of June, they opened up Pippie's skin to see how many of it attached, and we were praying for 60, 70%, and Dr. Mia came out and told me that except for a little piece on her cheek and a little piece on the side of her, everything took perfectly. Everything had veins, everything was going absolutely amazing. And then on 4th of June, they kicked me out of ICU. I felt devastated. I had to go to rehab, where they told me that Pippie was going to be severely brain damaged. There's a big chance that she will be a complete vegetable. And I actually chased a neurologist out of my daughter's room. I took her off some medicine, and this supermom, with the help of everyone, it wasn't just me, heard Pippie say mom for the first time, I was shouting out of pure joy, so she didn't say mommy again for 3 months. She said a lot of other things. And here she is today. I have a 2-year-old son that I had to leave behind. I think that made me a really awesome mommy to have to give him to my mom for 18 months, to have to stay there while I could look after Pippie. While she was in rehab, we had to open her dressings and twice a week. So every time, it was done on a Tuesday and on a Thursday, and every time Dr. Wilson saw this, she was stunned. They told me that Pippie will take about 3 years before she has any sign of pigment. But every time we took off these bandages, the color was coming back. She was getting pinker. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I wish I could show everyone right here that even after they said that the skin on the top of your hand of 500 to 800 cell layers thick, the skin Pippie got was 5 to 8 cell layers thick. She will never have pigment, she will never grow hair, and she will never have sweat glands. Pippie sweats like a little piggy in summer. The hair is growing so much. She has pigment all over, as you can see. She doesn't have any keloids. The one thing I'm really looking forward to, except for Pippie walking and talking and being as normal as possible, is to take her to Boston, to show Boston what South Africa can do, what this mom can do. But during everything, it was prayers that carried me through this. It was the world that carried me through this. It was the world that made me a super mom. But I had the most awesome Pippie hero team behind me. I had the most awesome husband behind me that carried me through everything. And after everything, I can today say I'm the very proud mom of Pippie. I'm happy to call myself a super mom. And there's no way that anyone can tell a mom no. They said that when a child gets hurt, nobody does better investigation than a mom. Even this FBI can learn something there. But I just want to say that Pippie is hope. In Pippie, you can find life again. I saw it happen 17 times, and every day we woke up finding more hope, more courage, and I'm proud to be here today. Thank you very much.